Happy Sunday. My name is Chelsey Pleasant. This is my wonderful husband, Cameron Pleasant. We are here to do a self-improvement Sunday session with you. Cameron and I, we've never really identified as religious people. So one of the things that I noticed about people who get the pleasure of going to church every Sunday is they really have that personal growth each week. And so we wanted to set aside time for ourselves to do that. We thought this would be a great platform to share it and maybe connect with other like-minded people who are in the same boat. So,
what we try to do each week is read a self-improvement book or inspirational book. And this is going to be the platform where on Sundays, we talk about what we learned through our experience of reading that book. And then hopefully pass it on to you and get commentary and see if you guys want to share your self-improvements or you got a great suggestion of a book that we can read. So we'll just go ahead and start.
Yeah. The first thing that we wanted to talk about was defining success. Because you can't really have success if you don't even know how you define it, right? You don't really know what you're chasing. So I think it's really important to get clear on how you define success for yourself and what motivates you. What motivates you to actually achieve that success? So we wanted to start by comparing how we once defined success when we were 18 is the age we chose because it's a big turning point in your life, right? You're graduating high school, you're starting that next chapter, and everyone takes very different paths. I mean, many just do the college and stuff, but there's lots of different paths you can take. And so we wanted to compare how we define success then versus how we define it now. So Cameron, do you want to start?
I will. 18, before I joined the military, I thought success was having money. You know, the $100,000 job a year, cars, any car I wanted, any girl I wanted, being able to just drink, being able to party. And then I joined the military and my success kind of changed a little bit in mindset where I wanted to be recognized. I wanted to be the guy that could get anything done. They could come to me and I would get it done, no questions asked. That was really, it was...
The recognition.
The recognition. Having someone define me as the person they can go to whenever they needed something done. And I still kind of think that just a little bit, but my mindset's changed over the years, especially meeting my lovely wife. Things changed a lot over the past year and a half, I would say, where my success is really, I would think, has changed to time. I want more time with my family. I want to be able to have financial freedom. I want to be able to live my life without worrying about a 9-to-5 job or having any money issues. That's really where the success has changed. And also with the recognition is just being happy with myself. You know, really saying, hey Cameron, you don't need to be that guy. The world's not going to end. Are you happy today? Did you fulfill what you needed to fulfill in myself? That's when my mindset's really changed, is just having that recognition, not be so big on the pedestal, is just, hey Cameron, you're doing a great job. You don't need to worry about what other people are thinking. What are you thinking about yourself? You know, are you putting your max effort? And if I am, then I'm happy. I mean, if people want to recognize that, then so be it. But as long as I know what I'm doing, and I'm not trying to impress anyone else, I'm just doing it to impress myself, and I really like that part.
Yeah.
What about you, Chelsey?
So when I was 18 and I was thinking about this, I vividly remember writing my graduation thank you cards. You know, everybody sends you stuff, mostly money, and they you write back and tell them your plans. And I remember I wanted to be a registered dietitian followed by a certified diabetes educator. There's very specific reasons behind that, but I wanted a boat. That was a big one. Really wanted a boat. I wanted to make $100,000 a year, and I wanted to be married by 25. I really put a lot of attachment to that married by 25 thing. I don't know why that was a turning point. I wanted 401k, health insurance, and most importantly, I wanted to be as skinny as humanly possible. I really attached a lot of happiness with how skinny I am. Go ahead, baby. Go ahead.
Come here. Booker.
That's okay. So now I define success quite a bit differently. I don't really care if I make $100,000 a year, $50,000 a year, $2 million a year, as long as I have enough money to not stress about it, to not worry. That's my main goal. I've never been much of a materialistic person, but there's something to be said for financial freedom, right? And then I wanted to be able to have freedom with my time. As I've gotten older, I've spent time working in the corporate world where your vacation time is limited, it has to be approved, and all those things, and I don't want that ever again. I really like having freedom of my time and being in charge of my time and being able to go places when I want. I'm my own boss now, and I would never go back. That's a big thing of how I define success, is having freedom and being in charge of my time. Also, having an awesome teammate, I didn't find you by 25. I found him later, but I would not change anything about my journey to getting there, because I think I learned a lot, and I think I appreciate him more because of the time prior.
She got through all the riffraff first.
Yeah, exactly. And in terms of my body, it embarrasses me that I really was so obsessed with being skinny, because the diet pills and all the crap I did, the crash diets, none of that works or sticks. And I've actually achieved a very small body for a while, and it didn't make me near as happy as I thought it would. And what makes me happy now is just fueling my body in a way that makes me feel good inside and out, and where I feel proud of myself, like Cameron was saying. I almost think the attachment I had with body image is similar to Cameron's validation he seeked in work. Is I just want to feel good about myself. I want to look in the mirror and feel good and feel proud of myself and know that I'm taking really good care of myself, because that's what gives me true confidence. So yeah.
But not also be so hard on yourself either.
Yeah.
That's really tough to do, because everyone has an idea of what they want their future selves to look like or have, and if you don't have it at that time, it's not the end of the world. It's not being really hard on yourself. It's okay, just the small steps. What can you do next to improve to get to that overall goal? I mean, I feel that's a big thing.
Yeah.
Is that, okay, I don't look like this now, but what do I need to do? Do I need to change my diet, or do I need to start reading books more? Do I need to educate myself on something? That really, and then having that drive to do it instead of just waiting for it to happen.
Yeah, I think, I know, they're wanting some love. I think that's a big one, is learning to love yourself even when you're not performing or doing the things that you're necessarily supposed to be doing, and learning to be kind and forgive yourself. I think that's really important.
Yeah, I agree.
So the next thing was talking about your why and what motivates you. And so I have an example that I like to use. This couch is extremely comfortable and wonderful.
Yeah.
And
German engineered.
It is German
I
engineered.
bought it that way.
Yeah, I would have never paid that much for it.
No, yeah, exactly.
You're lucky you bought it before you.
I was younger, material things, but.
So we will lay on this couch, and if I'm laying here binge watching, let's say the show Jane the Virgin. You guys ever watch that show? Really addicting. Every episode is a cliffhanger. So anyway, let's say you're midway through a binge watching session of whatever your show is, and you remember there's a dirty dish in the sink. For me personally, I'm not going to get up in the middle of the episode and go wash that dish. He probably would.
I definitely will.
But I wouldn't. However, if I smelled something burning in the kitchen, immediately I'm going to get up and go figure out what that smell is, because I don't want my house to burn down. I don't want something to catch on fire. So for me, the only thing that changed is that why. What's the reason to go do something? Is it compelling enough to get yourself to take action, right?
Correct.
So Cameron's why is much easier. He's not a procrastinator. So if something needs to be done,
it's all about that freedom of time. So if I can get something done instantly, like doing the dishes, I'd rather get that done now, out of the way. That way I'm not thinking about it at 9 o'clock at night. I have more time to spend with my wife, watching Jane the Virgin or whatever we're doing at that time. But that's what I really want. More time with the dogs, more time for cuddles, I guess. That's what I'm looking for. So that's why I try to get things done instantly when I wake up, get them out of the way. That way it's not on my plate lingering later.
I think Cameron's really good about that, like not procrastinating and making things happen. First, if you find that you identify with me, where you maybe procrastinate, put things off, have trouble taking action, what you need to start thinking about is the way you're defining success and the things you're chasing. Are they compelling enough to make you take action? I really am very motivated by never living the corporate life again. I'm very motivated by that. So I think about that. I think about like, I am going to succeed at this because I don't want this. Because this is not how I define success, and I do not want to go back to that life. It's not for me. It's not what makes me happy. It's not what gets me going. So I encourage you to do this exercise. Think about how you once defined success. Compare it to how you define success now. If you even can. You can't have success if you can't define it, right? So you got to really think about what you want and what your current definition is. And then, is it compelling enough? Is it compelling enough to make you take action? On this topic, there's a book. This is Awaken the Giant Within. It's by Tony Robbins. I'm including a link for you, but I want you to not get the audio. Normally, I'm super team audio.
Yeah.
Love audiobooks. But
I can't read. So.
We hate reading. Well, not just because we hate reading, but because it just requires extra time, right? Like to sit down and do this, I can't do anything but this, right? But if I'm listening to the audio, I can be cleaning, I can be multitasking. Now, yeah, I don't clean. So this book, if you get the audio, it's actually not the full book. You're missing out on a lot of it. So I highly recommend getting the actual physical copy. And I have to tell you, we've actually never just read this book cover to cover. What I do is I open up a page and then just read till the end of that section and let that simmer. That's how I treat this book. Kind of like maybe how some people treat a Bible. Actually, I don't really know how people treat a Bible.
I would say something.
It's something like that, though, right? Like you just read a passage, and that's kind of what I do with this book. It kind of seems like what needs to come to me comes to me. I highly recommend reading it cover to cover. I really should too, but it's fun. It's fun to do it this way. It's like a little surprise. So you'll definitely hear some stuff that we've talked to you about today in here.
Taking action, yeah.
Yeah, defining success, creating lasting change. So I hope this was helpful. We look forward to talking to you next Sunday.
Yes.
Yeah, this was fun.
Always.
All right, see you guys.
See you next Sunday.